PC Gaming's review of Monster Hunter World Iceborne is out, and it grips us with the tantalizing headline, quote, "A thrilling new adventure, but it's not just the world that's chilling." What? What is this guy talking about? It's not just the world that's chilling. What else could be chilling? Let's find out by skimming through the article. Alright, so it starts out with if you're already a fan. So I've kind of skimmed through this beforehand. We're going to jump to the good part. Iceborne is a mix of new monster, there's a lot more, blah, blah, blah. Oh, here we are, the controversial part of the article. This is the part we're all going to talk about, right? So, PC Gaming in its enlightenment says, or should I say Sam Green, quote, "There's always been an unease for me in playing these games where I'm asked to go out, invade the habitats of these species, and kill them to make the next set of armor and weapons. With World, the discomfort was extreme at times, of beating monsters till they limped, then being asked to lop off their tails to hear whines and squeals. You don't just kill the monsters in these games, you make them suffer. Engaging as its loop is, as enthralling as its fights are," that's redundant, those two parts, "I've always been disappointed that they've created such a rich ecosystem and that I'm not allowed to go around and hold hands with the monsters and sing Kumbaya and look at the daisies together and talk about our secret." What happened, Sam? Did you miss the part of the title of the game where it quite literally says Monster Hunter?
Ha, gotcha.
Oh no, what could that mean? What could Monster Hunter mean? What do you think it meant? I mean, if it's upsetting to take down a huge nasty monster boss in Monster Hunter, how does Sam feel about, I don't know, Mario? What if they don't even call Mario Goomba Stomper or Goomba Genocider or something like that, Goomba Mass Murderer. They don't even call it that. But I mean, like, what do you do to the Goombas? You quite literally stomp them to death. They're not like just teleporting when they poof, they're dead. We know they're dead. That's the, right? It's not like implied that they go to Goomba Heaven or that they're teleported away. They're dead. We kill them. It's a video game, right? This is, we play Call of Duty, don't we? Who doesn't play a shooter game every now and then? You're killing other humans. You don't feel the least bit bad about it because that's the point of the video game, is to experience killing something you would never have experienced killing. But Sam the Wise believes it's such an important issue, animal cruelty, that in a game literally named Monster Hunter, he needs to let us know how extremely uncomfortable he is taking down a T-Rex. When I read something like this, my initial analysis, my own thoughts on it, there's only a few, maybe cynical conclusions you can reach. Sam maybe really believes what he says here. Sam's really upset in your video game simulation that you're allowed to do something you normally wouldn't do in the real world. Like Grand Theft Auto, guys. Remember Grand Theft Auto? Mortal Kombat? Remember how violent Mortal Kombat was? Yeah. Sam's really upset about this. Or writing a, quote, good or clickbaity article in 2020 includes injecting some form of politics into the article rather than a careful analysis of the game. That could be it. If so, congratulations, you got attention. I mean, doesn't it hurt the brand in the long run, though? PC Gaming, it makes you not want to read the reviews in the future. At least it makes me not want to read the review next time. I'm just going to go, yeah, right, I'm just going to go to your competitor and read that instead. I don't have time to read everyone's review. You have to be reputable. You have to have reasonable reviews that don't tick people off. So that's maybe the second case. Both of those are cynical, by the way, because, in the first case, if Sam really believes in that stuff, he's into censorship. That's what it is. When you tell people what they should and shouldn't have in their video games, when you have somebody like Sam come in and guilt you for what you have in your simulation, it's not real, guys. It's censorship. He's telling you what you can and can't enjoy. But in the second case, it's more calculated on his behalf, and he's doing it because he'll make money off of you guys, and that you'll continue to read PC Gamer's articles, which I don't recommend. So both of those are cynical outcomes. Did you think that we were done dissecting this religious review? Nope, we're not done. There's more to it. There's actually quite a bit more in this article. He's not done. So he goes on. He says this. It's never stopped me having a blast with the game, but Iceborne makes it even harder to ignore. Cutscene after cutscene featuring our cast of hunters tackle their nature, and by tackle I mean claim to be part of the ecosystem, and that by killing these monsters, they're somehow preserving things. He continues on. It's a preposterous notion. Our hunters aren't even from this continent, he exclaims, and yet the character discusses it suggests Capcom are at least aware of the dissonance in its story. Actually, so when I read that, it reminded me a lot of a different article that I read not too long ago when the game initially launches. Let's go ahead and talk about that article. So back in September, we had a kind of similar complaint made by Heather Alexandria for Kotaku, where she complains that we colonize places and that these lands are the domain of man. How proud of us. Let's go ahead and read that article as well. Quote, "But as Iceborne ramps up the production value and takes time to show characters basking in the truly gorgeous world, it's worth noting that just how freaking strange it feels when characters start claiming the new world as their home. This isn't just an expedition anymore, it's explicitly colonization. It's an expansion onward into new lands that are, by some vague right, the domain of man." Ah, there we go. So Sam and Heather are kind of in the same boat. We're the bad guys. Wow. I feel like I've stepped back into college and I'm a liberal again. We're the bad guys. Are you guilty yet? Do you guys feel bad yet? You're the bad guy. Yeah, so mankind goes in and we civilize things and we remove the beasts from the wild world. Did you guys miss that part? Anjanath is a wild beast. He goes around killing things. I mean, strictly. Anjanath and all the other giant monsters. They're not nice. They're not civilized cultures. They're not, other people. They're animals. They go around killing viciously. We're the civilized ones. We're the ones who clear them out, build houses, have societies, make art. We make music. And apparently we make video games as well. And in our video games, we must also feel guilty and politically correct in our video games because of Sam and Heather. Because if you don't, Sam and Heather will let you know you're evil because you want to colonize the poor animals, and Sam is feeling very bad that we cut the tail off of a monster that doesn't feel anything, because it's a simulation, man. Just like in Mortal Kombat, when things are very violent, that's a simulation. Just like in Grand Theft Auto, when we steal a car, it's a simulation. What's the difference between telling people they can't cut the tails off a T-Rex in a video game and telling people to go to church? You better go to church or you're going to hell, right? It's the same moralistic... it's weird. It's like the left has turned into the right. The old conservative Christians. That's the new party of the liberal party is the new conservative Christian. Feel bad unless you follow our moralistic points of views. This guy in the head. Boink. One, 2, 3, 4. Oh, he got up from that fast, didn't he? Alright, and we're still not done. Let's return to Father Sam's holy tribunal of the evil Monster Hunter World Iceborne. At the end of Father Sam's article, he goes full SJW by attacking Capcom's choice of armor for women. Here we go, here's the quote. "If there's one disappointment besides the iffy storyline, it's the fact that the game still has gendered armor sets and insists on making half of the women's outfits a combo of boob armor and bikinis." That's not true, by the way. "If the game's whole style was in practical outfits, then maybe I'd sit better, but when the dudes are rocking elaborate but practical armor sets, that's not true either. Actually, if you wear the male Kieran's armor set, he looks like a male gigolo. Okay, so it's both men and women get the sexy outfit. But he says, the men get the practical armor. It's sad to see the women stuck with miniskirts, their booties pushed into the camera through every crawl space. Worse, the other half of the women's armor is great, stylish stuff. So why these fumbles? Is an objectifying gaze that I'd hoped the series would have grown out of." Oh, look. It's almost like the boys wear skirts in Monster Hunter World. How strange. Let's see if we can look at our ass cracks. Oh, you can! You can look right at the man's ass crack when you're wearing the bone armor. Wow, it's almost like it's for the boys and the girls. That's so interesting. It's funny, because you'd think you would know this. All you would have to do is play the game long enough and you would know this. What was Sam saying about men's armor being elaborate and practical? Look at this, man. This is basically a bikini for men. Look at my chest. Just the nips are hidden. No nips. We got a little sack in the front of hair hiding my actual sack. Got the little thigh action going on. Let the other guys know how I'm feeling. How's it going, bros? Whatever happened to the sexual liberation of the left? When did you guys get so whipped? by the holy women of third wave feminism. Do you guys not remember the Greeks? All their statues were naked. What? That was an art? Do you guys ever look at men from ancient times? We had naked men. They were, they were idealized. They were fetishized. Purely naked. You saw, I can show you all kinds of dicks of these statues. It's not even against the rules. I can be totally monetized while I show you these dicks. Because it's art. This is art. Naked people are art. We should be celebrating sexuality. We should be celebrating that women can look sexy in Monster Hunter. And by the way, he's totally wrong. Men can look sexy in Monster Hunter as well. You can be naked in Monster Hunter nearly. You're wearing underwear. Okay? It doesn't get much sexualized more than that. Just remove the small loincloth and that's it. It doesn't go much further. So he's dead wrong on this. And it just echoes what I said earlier. He's become Father Sam. This is the new moral left, where art doesn't matter. You need to be judged, and you need to feel guilty for enjoying things that are entirely natural, including hunting. Hunting's totally natural. All of our ancestors did it. Well, the ancestors that lived anyways, right? The ancestors that had babies, they hunted for food. You need to feel bad about all of that. What do you guys think? Do you think you're tired of hearing Father Sam and Sister Heather telling you how to live your life, telling you how to play your video games, and telling you to feel extremely guilty for being immoral in a video game? And what even is moral in a video game? Are you not allowed to hunt things? Are women not allowed to look beautiful and sexy? Wow, just awful, to tell you the truth. And perhaps I'm getting more upset about it than I need to be. I'm not really that upset about it, but it's just, there's so many different ways that you could have written something very interesting as a writer for, a very established brand like Kotaku or PC Gaming. What if Sam had taken a different approach and talked about how he wished there had been more gore in Monster Hunter World Iceborne, more realism? For example, when you're playing Red Dead Redemption, you quite literally skin the things that you capture and the things that you kill. You skin them, you take the skin off of them. He should have been like, if Capcom's going to be a fantasy game that takes violence to a new level, it should have gone all the way and reached levels where we quite literally do skin the monsters that we fight. I would have liked to seen all the blood and gore, because Mortal Kombat established this level of gore that people often don't top, and video games should often be taking risks and innovating. Instead, he's like, oh, I feel so bad. I'm cutting the tail off of this vicious beast that destroys all the other animals in the ecosystem on a daily basis. Just destroys them. He grinds them up alive. I feel so bad about it. Or Heather talking about colonization. If she wanted to define the issue a little better, what she should have said is the animals should have been designed to pose a greater threat to the humans. So it might have been a case where the humans could have been written to be on a quest to extract some sort of research out of the plants because all of the humans are dying from some sort of rare disease, and we're in a rush to try and stop the disease, and these animals are stopping our research, and we're simply defending ourselves. She doesn't say anything like that. Instead, she accuses us of colonization, because that's, those are her political beliefs. Her political beliefs that definitely weren't drilled into her head, and we're the brainwashed ones, and she's the woke one. None of us have questioned our thoughts before that were handed to us by school and by college. Yes, humans are not allowed to go around pioneering and civilizing the wild. We're the bad guys. The Earth is better off without humans. We should just get rid of ourselves. Just like Anjanath would do with the humans, Anjanath would never invade the humans, and he would never barbarically eat all of us. Anyways, I'm repeating myself. Let's go ahead and nearly wrap this up. I guess my last few points would be that, luckily for Capcom, their opinion doesn't matter. Primarily because Capcom made a game that was fun. Let me tell you about a very political company that has pumped out 2 terrible games, and they're very politically woke. Do you guys remember BioWare? I talk about them as if they haven't even released a game recently. Do you guys remember BioWare? Man, I was a big fan of BioWare. You guys know I started my YouTube channel playing BioWare games, right? I was playing Mass Effect 3 multiplayer, and I said, I'm so good at this, and I have so many builds I'd like to share, I'm going to start a YouTube channel. So that's how my YouTube channel got started, and here I am today, talking about BioWare. Poor BioWare. They decided that what's most important in their video game is political correctness rather than fun. Nope, doesn't work that way. It's always fun. Fun comes first. Political correctness does not belong in art. I mean, you can make politically correct art, as long as people understand that the point of the art is political correctness. Other than that, art is a natural experience. Art is something that talks to your subconscious. not to your, it's not supposed to brainwash you. I suppose at that point it's propaganda, isn't it? And I hope that Capcom's clever enough to realize just how dead wrong the Kotaku review is, and just how dead wrong the PC gaming review is when they talk about these issues. I think Capcom's clever enough for that. In fact, I'm going to give Capcom the opposite advice. I play the game, actually, a lot. I'm not like the game reviewers. They play it for, I guess they claim to play it a long time, but I've been playing for like 4,000 hours. I've been playing it an actual long time. I'm going to give them the opposite advice. I would tell them to look at the modding community and look at the most popular mods. What are the most popular mods? Jiggle physics mods. Give us some wiggly boobs, man. Are you offended by that? Let me know in the comment section if you are offended by boobs jiggling. You realize all boobs jiggle in the real world, right? Even small boobs have a small jiggle. All of them. That would be realism. It's not even sexualization of women. That would just be an accurate presentation of women. An anatomically correct presentation of women. We can have jiggly packs for the men. I don't care. That would be awesome. Who's offended by this? I'll tell you who gets offended by it. The same old people with their special hats and their special robes, and they climb up on the pulpit because they've been chosen by God, and they tell you how to live your life. And in 2020, rather than being priests and sisters and whatever, they're game journalists. They're game journalists, and they still tell you how to live your life. And they're the new moralistic right, the same conservatism I've been trying to escape my entire life. I hear it all again. It's the same language. It's almost precisely the same language. Just comes from a different political body. Alright, so that's my feeling on the articles. Let me know how you guys feel. I think this video's gone on long enough. I'm going to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. There. And we have done that, so now the fight's going to be easy. It's going to be easy. Oh, thank you, Anime Harem. What a great name. Anime Harem. Nice. Look at this perfect positioning. 1, 2, 3, 4. Another KO, maybe? Nah. We've already had 2 KOs, so another KO would be pretty unheard of.